Hello and welcome to our brand new YouTube channel. My name is Sotonye Afiesimama and this is Today in African History for the 4th of July, Independence Day for our brothers and sisters in the United States of America. So happy Independence Day to our American brothers and sisters. Now, yesterday I talked about the events that happened in African history on the 3rd of July, one of which was called Operation Thunderbolt. Okay, so go check it out. And a movie was made of this event called Raid on Entebbe. It's an absolutely fantastic movie, guys. Go check it out. Go check out this movie. It's very, very inspirational. Very inspirational. It just shows that if you plan things correctly, as precisely as you can, there's hardly anything that's going to go wrong. You know, it's a movie that tells you that, you know, we have a lot of power as human beings to control the events in our lives. You know, we don't put events at the mercy of other people. Events that concern us at the mercy of other people. We have to take charge of our own life. We have to take charge of our own continent. Take charge of our own country. Take charge of our own families as men and women. You know, don't leave it to someone else, you know, to come sort out our issues. That is probably one of the problems that we have as Africans. Okay, so the other event as well that happened on this day was the Algerian Revolution against the French. So essentially, the Algerians wanted to kick the French out and they detoxed it. So go check out that video. There are other events that happened on this day. So it's July 3rd, Today in African History, July 3rd. If you haven't seen the other videos as well, check them out as well. Okay, again, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, turn on your notification bell so that you receive updates of our video uploads. Let's get cracking with events that happened on July 4th in African history. So, on this day, these two men who you saw in the previous photograph, their names are Joseph Kabila, President of Congo, and Yoweri Museveni, President of Uganda. So this was the day in 2001 that they met, and the reason why they met was they met to talk about the war that was going on in Congo. So this war had been going on for 3 years, and they said, well, let's meet and talk about the conflict and let's see how we can resolve this conflict in Congo. So they did well, you know, they made the effort to end the war in Congo, and that war has ended today. So hopefully Congo is able to rebuild their economy and move forward, join the Committee of Nations. Congo is well endowed with natural resources. I don't think there's anywhere on the planet that is as more naturally endowed in raw materials, minerals. There's a lot of stuff that's hidden under the earth of this country. Of course, they've got human resources as well. You know, they just need a good leader. They need good leaders, someone who can make this country move forward and join the Committee of Nations. You know, we want forward-moving nations like Rwanda, for instance. You know, after the genocide that happened in 1994, Rwanda has moved in leaps and bounds. It's been tagged as the Singapore of Africa, and there's a good reason for that. I'm sure Congo, a much, much larger country, can do a lot more than that. Okay, so let's go on to the next events that happened on this day, July 4th. On this day, due to his eccentric behavior and increasingly dictatorial reign, Ahmed Ben Bella, a former president of Algeria, was freed on this day in 1979 after 14 years in prison. His close buddy, Ouari Onadien, overthrew Bella's regime. He was then jailed for 14 years. He died on the 11th of April 2012. So this guy's name again is Ahmed Ben Bella, was former president of Algeria. Also on this day, we commemorate the end of the genocide in Rwanda. Today is Liberation Day. It's observed on this day, July 4th, and marks the end of the horrifying Rwandan genocide, which took the lives of over 800,000 people. in 3 dreadful months. Hutu radicals killed every Tutsi and moderate Hutu they could find between the 6th of April and the 4th of July 1994, while many Tutsis left their homes. So this genocide was absolutely horrific. I don't think we've seen anything like that in human history in such a short span of time. So it ended, thankfully, on this day in 1994. Now, Rwanda has made leaps and bounds, as you can see. If you saw the video that I shot on the 1st of July, you would see that Rwanda is really making progress. See the new buildings, new architectures they've put up, and what their president is doing to move the country forward. Like I said earlier, a few minutes ago, it's been tagged as the Singapore of Africa, and there's a good reason for that. The economy is one of the best in Africa at the moment. It's not the wealthiest country by GDP, but it's going to get there one day. It's a tiny country, but they're doing quite well. It's safe, people coming in, investors coming in to invest in the country because it's a safe place to invest in. Okay, so I hope some of you who are watching this video, listening to me, you would also invest in Rwanda. It's one of the safest countries in Africa right now. You can check out, you can do your research and find out if this is true or not. Okay, so on this day also, July 4th, this picture commemorates the pivotal conflict of the Anglo-Zulu War. It was the Battle of Ulundi, and this took place in 1879. The Anglo-Zulu War came to a conclusion on this day, and the Zulu nation was divided as a result. The British commander Lord Chelmsford advanced on Ndini in July, and in a decisive assault known as the Battle of Ulundi, he achieved military victory over the Zulu people. Well, thankfully, South Africa is independent today, has been handed over to the rightful owners of the country, the South Africans, and of course, those who came in to settle from Europe and other parts of the world, they have not been chased out of the country. Nelson Mandela was one of those who was instrumental to having peace with all those who had caused problems for him and his ancestors, and obviously his kith and kin, his countrymen and women. So he preached a message of reconciliation. So we hope that South Africa would move forward in its economy, the way it takes care of its citizens, provides jobs for those who are less privileged, especially the Africans in South Africa, who are still struggling, till this day. They're not as privileged as those whose ancestors migrated into the country. So steps, I'm sure, are being taken to make sure that this anomaly doesn't continue for very, very long. So again, today, the Battle of Ulundi is commemorated July 4th, 1879, I beg your pardon. Also on this day, this guy called Babatunde Okunboa, popularly known by his stage name OJB Jezreel or OJB, was born. The year was 1966. OJB Jezreel was a talented musician as well as an experienced producer in the history of R&B, hip-hop, and Afrobeat music. In the African entrepreneurial industry, he has produced some of the greatest hit albums and singles. He was the sole producer of Face to Face, the album that featured songs like African Queen. He died on June 24th, 2016. Also, on this day, this lady, Idia Aizien, a Nigerian model, TV presenter, and actress, was born. The year was 1991. Aizien is of Cameroonian and Nigerian ancestry. She was born in 1991, like I said earlier, in Lagos to Jirola Emanuela and Champagne tycoon Joe Aizien. Aizien attended Lagos Atlantic Hall High School while she was a kid. She later relocated to the United States, where she earned a BA in journalism from America's University in Washington, D.C. So happy birthday, Idia Aizien. She was born on this day in 1991. Last but not least, his name is Benson Kipchumba Barros. Born on this day in 1980, he is a Kenyan long-distance runner who competes in marathon and half-marathon competitions. His personal best time for the race is 2 hours, 7 minutes and 7 seconds, which he achieved when winning the 2011 Prague Marathon. In addition, he took first place in Rome, Beijing, and Chongqing and won the 2009 Turin Marathon. In 1999, he won the 10,000 meter World Junior Championship. Barros is an Italian road racing winner who lives there and trains with Federico Rosa and Claudio Baradelli. So that's it, folks, for the 4th of July. I hope you will join us tomorrow, July 5th, to find out more about the African continent, the events that happened on that day, and the way forward as well. So we're not just going to be talking about history here. How do we forge forward as a continent as well? How do we learn from our past mistakes, correct them, and forge forward? We don't want to be left behind. That time is gone now. We have a young population, a young, vibrant, hardworking, entrepreneurial, intelligent population that can stand anywhere in the world. We just need to harness the energies of our young people. They are very, very, very intelligent and very ambitious. So let poor leadership not hold us back. That time is past. It's time to forge, to look to the future for a better Africa. So thanks for dropping by once again. If you haven't subscribe, like, share, turn on your notification bell. Take care of yourselves until tomorrow. Bye for now.